Alright guys, I'm coming at you with a review of Tokyo Ghoul, episode 1. Pretty much, I'm just gonna put it this way. This summer season, I guess it would be summer season, is headlined with a lot of great anime. At least it seems that way. With Tokyo Ghoul, Sword Art Online 2, Akame ga Kill, and also the reboot of Sailor Moon. I mean, that's just some of the main. I mean, there's other animes that are coming out there that I'm sure that are probably going to be great, or at least good, entertaining. But I'd have to say Tokyo Ghoul had that what the fuck or WTF, what the hell factor that Attack on Titan had when it first launched. It had that oh my gosh feeling to it as I watched it, and it had to be probably the craziest episode out of all the season premieres of each anime that I have watched. And honestly, this is probably the one I'm most looking forward to. And I think everyone else is feeling that. I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of gore. The story's interesting. It kind of went with a kind of Attack on Titan theme, like one person uh, like not really liking something and then figuring out that he's half of that thing, like a hybrid makes him stronger. I don't know. But pretty much this is how it goes out. Our protagonist is named Kaneki, and his friend is named Hide. I'm pretty sure Hide is going to have a bigger role to play later on. But pretty much the way it is I really, this is another thing that kind of intrigues me. Do ghouls and humans live alike? There are these things called ghouls, and what they do is they can only feed off of human flesh. They can't eat human food, and they're well known throughout the world, or at least throughout Japan. And I don't know if like humans are just living with ghouls and they don't know it, or they do know it. I have no idea. But it's also said that ghouls can live off of one meal for about a month, so they don't need to take human lives constantly. But there are some, and they're called binge eaters, and that's what we start off the episode with. This one lady, she's a binge eater. She just eats just for the pleasure of it, just for the rush. And she just eats a whole restaurant full of people, gory as crap. She's loving it, blood all over, like holy cow, man. And after that, we see Kaneki and his friend at a cafe, and they're talking about love life. And Kaneki's not the most popular guy, and it's stereotypical type of wimp when it comes to women in these animes that have been coming out lately. And what happens there is his friend starts hitting on the waitress. Her name is, hold on, I have it right here, Karishima Toka, and she is of course embarrassed and runs away. And Kaneki's like, what the hell did you do that for? Blah 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 blah. But then Kaneki spots this one girl who enters the cafe, and she happens to be a fan of books like he is. He's a really big fan of books, of novels and such. So pretty much when that happens, he kind of asks her out on a date to the bookstore, which him and his friend were just talking about, and his friend said it would be a terrible first date, but he got it. So they were going to the bookstore, they went to get some food, whatnot, and the date was coming to an end, and she was afraid to go home because she lived where this recent ghoul attack was that was being broadcasted all over the news. So Kaneki, trying to score some points with her, is like, I'll walk you home. She's of course ecstatic, she feels better, she's relieved, and they start walking, and they start going down this dark alleyway, and you see that girl from the cafe pass by, and you see that she's really skeptic about what's going on, but she just lets it go as nothing. And then it turns out that the girl that Kaneki was on a date with is a ghoul, and she happens to be the binge eater that made the last attack. And because she like gets all close to him and whatnot, and she's like, I'm interested in you too. He's all happy, and then she kind of transforms, I don't know, and you just see his facial expression into pure fright. She takes a bite out of his neck. It is unbelievable. Blood spews out from it. Like, it's unbelievable. My first time I saw it, my jaw was, I was like, oh my gosh, it was, I wasn't expecting it because I didn't read the manga. I have no idea what it's about. And then he's trying to run away. She's grabbing him. She like spews these kind of tentacle like things from her back. I've heard some people say it's her controlling her blood or something. I have no idea what it is. We really don't know what it is unless the people that read the manga know. And she's just going in and she's like, you know what I like better than reading? Scrambling up your inside, so I'm gonna do that. But then Kaneki kind of, I think he passes out from the pain, and while that happens, she's about to dig into him to eat him, and then out of nowhere, these construction eye beams fall down on her, and it's obvious that it's foul play, probably from another ghoul, because after that scene, you see somebody sitting on top where the crane is. And plus, she's a binge eater. That's problems for other ghouls. That's creating more heat and less food, pretty much. And so I'm pretty sure another ghoul took her out. Not really sure though. We're probably gonna get a confirmation next. But what happens is, as Kaneki starts to black out, he starts hearing the sirens, and then while he's still blacked out, he can still hear. And the doctor's obviously losing him, so he says, let's take her organs, put them in him. Obviously, it would never happen in the real world, but it's an anime. Um, he says he'll take full responsibility, blah, 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 blah. So he wakes up, and the fact that he has ghoul organs in him now pretty much turns him half human, half ghoul. He can't eat his favorite foods anymore. His friend Hide even brings him his favorite food. He can't eat it. And he starts losing his mind because he's hungry. He can't eat human food. He knows that he's a ghoul. He just doesn't want to accept it. And he starts walking in like downtown Tokyo or something like that. And he just smells humans around him. And like the voice acting of this character is amazing. He just starts like humans, 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 and he's like, at the end of it, he starts screaming humans, and he's almost on the verge of attacking a human to get some food. He just runs into an alleyway, and he realizes the smell. He smells this very welcoming odor. Like he kind of compared it to his mom's home cooking. And he follows it and he follows it and he's so hungry he can't wait to eat, and he runs up on a ghoul eating a human. And this whole time he's been battling with his humanity, because if he eats a human, he's no longer a human, he's a ghoul. But he's half and half, he still has that side to resist. And he starts freaking out, and this ghoul is like, oh hey, here, you want a piece? And when that happens, this other ghoul that, okay, I just have to say this. He was with Hide earlier, Kaneki's friend. I don't know if it's his boss or his older brother. I have no idea. When I first saw it, I thought it was his older brother, but I guess we'll get that confirmed also. But he's like, this is my feeding grounds. You're not supposed to be here. And he kills the random ghoul with like one kick, and he's going after Kaneki now. And Kaneki has no idea what's going on, really. I mean, he's obviously just become a ghoul, and he's about to die. But then we see the chick, Toka, from the maid cafe, and it turns out she's a ghoul too. And it turns out that she is a ridiculously strong ghoul, even with her age. And I can't remember the name of it, but she says like, this is a certain group's feeding grounds. This isn't your feeding grounds, this is a certain group's. And he's like, whatever, whatever. And then she goes to fight him. They go to fight each other, and Toka completely wrecks his shit without actually causing severe damage. Like, I'm just messing around right now, but don't make me go in on you. Like, and then uh, throughout this whole thing, Kaneki's still struggling with his humanity, and Toka really doesn't see the point in that, and she grabs a piece of human flesh, shoves it down his throat, and the last thing we hear is him swallowing it. So he finally ate something that was human. He has something in his belly. But the thing is, with this whole series, the main thing that I'm looking forward to is one, what are ghouls? How did they come to be in existence? And is there a cure, or are they like a whole different species? That's one of the main things that I'm looking forward to figuring out in this series. Next one is that name that Toka mentioned when she says it wasn't your eating grounds, it belonged to whatever the name was. Is that like a group of ghouls that are known throughout the ghoul community or something like that? I thought of that, and does that mean like Kaneki's gonna go there now to learn to control his ghoul side or something? This is all that ran through my head the first and second time I watched this, and also the other one is pretty much how long will Kaneki struggle between his humanity and his ghoul side, his human side and his ghoul side, and will he be in certain situations where the ghoul side will take over the human side, or the human side will take over the ghoul side? I really don't know, but it has an Attack on Titan feel to it, but it has the gore, and it's a little bit more, it's more unique than it sounds. Don't get me wrong, it still has like bits and pieces of other anime that you can see in it, like Dead Man Wonderland or Attack on Titan, but it's kind of hard to find an anime that's completely original now. But this has to be probably the one anime I'm looking forward to most this summer. So, I mean, that's all I got for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Bye.